loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health. Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
The stocks notched some more records as a rally spurred by hopes for lower U.S. interest rates wrapped around the world. The S&P 500 rose 0.3%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 1%, while the Nasdaq added 0.1% to its record set the day before. Treasury yields eased as expectations reached a virtual consensus that the Federal Reserve will cut its main interest rate for the first time this year at its next meeting. That's in September. Stocks leaped by more than 1% in several Asian markets, while European indexes rose more modestly. The Dow today up 463 points to close at 44,922. The Nasdaq gained 31 to 21,713. The S&P 500 added 20 to 6466. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
News and analysis at townhall.com. Remember,
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Cloudy and muggy tonight with a 30% chance of some overnight showers, the low dipping to 76. Tomorrow it's on and off thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, a high of 90. More of the same for Friday and Saturday, but on Sunday we do expect a mostly sunshine-filled day. Hooray! Weekend high temperatures around 90 degrees. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make the
This is Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut and Chris Bergen. Sports Talk is heard across the state on radio affiliates of the Sports Talk Media Network and is streaming live on SportsTalkSC.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to call in is 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now, here are Phil and Chris with tonight's edition of Sports Talk.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk here on the Sports Talk Media Network as we come to you tonight once again on the Palmetto Pigskin Tour, making the drive to the east into the storms around Charleston, North Charleston. Man, we had a big one come through here a few minutes ago. We are at Charleston Southern University tonight, where we will be talking with the Buccaneers a little bit early tonight because of their schedule. You know, we don't like to impose on the football teams, the players and the coaches. We have to work around their schedule. They don't work around our schedule. So they'll be with us at 6:35 tonight. We'll find out about the Buccaneers, who had a tough year last year, looking to bounce back this year. Got the quarterback back. Got some other key people back. Of course, they've taken some transfers and tried to fill in some holes, and we'll see what Coach Gabe Gardenia and players have to say when they join us here at 6:35 tonight. Of course, South Carolina and Clemson now is sort of the grind time. They've kind of gone behind the curtain for a little bit. Now, South Carolina will not have any more media access until next Tuesday. Dabo Swinney at Clemson will talk with the media tomorrow after their next scrimmage inside Death Valley. So it's kind of that quiet time, Chris Bergen, though I have been reading some stuff, especially out of Clemson, that's got just reading the coverage up there from guys like David Hood and Larry Williams and the like. I mean, a little bit of concern about some injuries. You've got an injury to their starting right guard that is could cause a problem, Walker Parks, and it could be something that they don't know for sure. They don't know for sure. According to Larry Williams and his reporting on Tiger Illustrated, Parks was on a crutch yesterday, got hurt in the scrimmage, and looked like a knee thing, but did not have any deeper information than that, except that he was not practicing, which would mean they would move Harris Sewell over to the right guard spot. You'd have Colin Sadler, left guard, Sewell at right guard. And so what it does, of course, it forces you to rearrange your depth a little bit, which is what they're dealing with there. And then Adam Randall's had a little bit of an injury thing as well, maybe an ankle type thing with him from what they have written. They do not believe that to be too serious at this point. But, I mean, if
it better not be.
Well, if he goes down, if he's not available, and Jarvis Green is out, and Jay Haynes is still not available, you really cut into the depth at running back. So the point is in all this is you talk about teams and rankings, and all it takes is a couple of key injuries to change the entire discussion about a team going into the season. That's why we're into the grind. I know these guys, the coaches, everybody, they're just trying to get to the next couple of days when they turn the page and start working on the opponent, start working on the game plan, start working on the opponent. Maybe not as physical the rest of the way because you want to preserve guys and get them ready for the start of the season.
Well, and Phil, I mean, these guys spend all their time now until school starts. The only break they have is ordered by the coaching staff because they show up at the facility at like 6 o'clock in the morning. They have treatment, they eat breakfast, they stretch, they start getting ready for practice, they eat lunch, they have meetings, they do, whatever else, they lift weights, then they have dinner, they eat, they have more meetings. I mean, they are at football almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week right now. You can kind of anticipate almost to a man that they're going to have injuries at this time of season. If you get to this point in camp and you don't have some guys banged up, I don't think you're working very hard. Now, you don't want them overly injured. And the Adam Randall thing, I think, is concerning. And you have to wonder, too, Phil, when he checked in to open up fall camp, he weighed in at 235 pounds, I believe, which is considerably bigger than what he had weighed when he was playing wide receiver. And he explained it. He said he was doing a lot more workouts with the linemen and the other running backs. So obviously he was lifting more weight to get bigger. You just wonder if putting on that additional weight may have had something to do with a lower leg situation. Hope he is going to be healthy because the way Dabo Swinney has talked about him, I mean, calling him, he's going to be a story in college football. You certainly like to see if he can actually be so and not have to sit on the sidelines being injured.
It would be quite a story to become a very successful running back after being a receiver with a lot of promise coming in, but a guy who's had to deal with injuries throughout his time at Clemson, and that's kind of limited his production so far in his career. It would be a story if he blew up as a running back and became 1,000-yard rusher, let's say, at Clemson this year. That would be a heck of a story. Okay, our phone number, 888-898-2525. That is the South Carolina Education Lottery. Lucky number to reach us on here on Sports Talk. You can also send us a text message. We'll respond to good text messages, interesting text messages. The number for that is 803-900-4847, 803-900-4847. We're in North Charleston at Charleston Southern, home of the Buccaneers. Did have a big shower come through here with a gorgeous, gorgeous rainbow. You don't often see a rainbow that sits right in front of you. Oh, there it is again. It just came back. It was gone. Now it's just come back. It sits right in front of you, and it's like a complete rainbow. There's no break. There's no break in the colors, and it went from looked like it was connecting in Goose Creek on one side, and maybe over here at what would that be over there? That would be Mount Pleasant. Looked like it was going from Goose Creek over to Mount Pleasant from where I'm sitting.
Posted.
Yeah, I just thought that was you could find Sports Talk and the Pot of Gold at Charleston Southern tonight. So if you find the Pot of Gold, come share it with us.
Josh, as you get ready to begin school next week, do you know the colors of the rainbow?
I learned a song in school. It's called Roy G. Biv.
Yes, indeed.
You want me to sing it for you? I can sing it.
No, you don't need to.
That's okay. We don't have time tonight. We don't have time tonight for complete and utter foolishness, okay?
We try to limit that. That's Roy G. Biv. I thought that was great.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
Those are the colors of the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow for Roy, green for G, and then blue, indigo, and violet for Biv.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I never learned that song.
Roy G. Biv is a colorful man, and he proudly stands at the rainbow's end.
Yeah. Sing that your first day in class at South Carolina. See what kind of reaction you get.
Oh, that'd be great.
Do that. I want you to do that. That'd be kind of cool. We got some notes to go over. Also, we've got another trivia question, another Darlington trivia question tonight, as we'll give away tickets to the upcoming races. We're going to give you 2 tickets to the Cup race and 2 tickets to the Xfinity race. How about that? So a package of 4 tickets. Is it truck race?
Not running. Yeah. Xfinity's not running this go round here.
I rephrase the truck race. We're going to give you 4 tickets. Yeah. We're going to give you 4 tickets nonetheless. All right. The main thing, of course, is the Cup race, the Cookout Southern 500, the first playoff race, and then we'll throw in a couple of tickets to the truck race. So is the truck race on Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. Truck race on Saturday.
And could potentially, I know this is heresy, but could potentially be the better of the 2 races.
No. Why you say that?
Trucks put on a tremendous show at Darlington.
Yeah, but they don't put on a show that the Cup drivers.
Yeah, they oftentimes they do.
Yeah.
You know, at Darlington, there's a propensity for they get strung out and they run. Check back to the spring race. How long did they run single file? What, the entire first leg? There were, I don't think, any cautions except for the stage break. I mean, it happens at Darlington. The truck race will be tremendous. I can promise you.
Well, all right. You go to the truck race. I'll go to the Cup. Except I can't go to the Cup race because I'll be at the football game.
And I can't go to the truck race.
I hate we got football interference.
Yeah.
This particular Labor Days, but it is what it is. So let me go ahead and throw out the trivia question. And the first correct answer will win you those 4 tickets, 2 to the trucks and 2 to the Cup. And here is the question. Phone number 888-898-2525. You may recall that Bill Elliott claimed the first Winston Million. I was there. By winning all 3 NASCAR Crown Jewel races in the same season, culminating in his victory at the 1985 Southern 500. You know, back in those days, they would show up at the track. Things would start happening on Wednesday. Practice.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
They'd qualify like on either Thursday or Friday, and it was a big deal. The build-up was a big deal. Don't do that now. And I remember they were, of course, hyping everything, but they were protecting the number 9. What was that? It wasn't a Thunderbird. What was he driving? It was a Ford, not a Thunderbird. What was his car? I can't remember the make of the car. It was or the model. I know it was a Ford. But anyway, in his garage, in the number 9 car garage, the Bill Elliott garage, they had guard dogs. They had posted guards. They didn't want anybody touching that car from the time it came off the track to the time it went back on. This was after qualifying. I mean, for however long that car was in the garage, it was completely sealed off from everybody else. And, of course, he did go ahead and win the 85 Southern 500 and the Million. But do you know what NASCAR Hall of Famer was running at the front of the pack and was going to maybe win the race before losing his power steering and ultimately finishing second in the 85 Southern 500, allowing Bill Elliott to claim the first Winston Million? Okay? It's not too hard. You can figure that out. Phone number 888-898-2525. If you want to take a shot at the trivia question, we'll give you 2 tickets to the Southern 500, 2 tickets to the truck race as well.
And it was a Ford Thunderbird. It's actually,
it was a Thunderbird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a Thunderbird.
I think it's on display over at the National Motorsports Association Hall of Fame over at Darlington, if I'm not mistaken, or at least it used to be. I don't know if it still is.
Okay. Southern Conference announced today they're going to be adding Tennessee Tech as a member. Tennessee Tech is expected to start play in the league in the 26-27 season, leaving the OVC, which, of course, the Big South, the OVC, they have an agreement for playing football games. So that's a loss. We come here to Choso, and they have a team leaving the league. Tennessee Tech fitting in with the Southern Conference. What do you think?
Sure, why not? I have to plead ignorance about my knowledge of Tennessee Tech athletics. So I think it fits. Why not? I mean, if Stanford can be an Atlantic Coast Conference team, why can't Tennessee Tech be a Southern Conference team?
Yeah. Cookeville, Tennessee, not exactly a hot spot for tourism and things to do, I don't think. Now, Jim Carlin came from Cookeville, Tennessee. You know that?
No, I'm already impressed. I didn't realize that's where the university was. So you've already stumped me. Well done.
Oh, yeah. Right off of I-40 as you're going to Nashville, between Knoxville and Nashville, you go right through.
Okay, yeah.
Cookeville, Tennessee. His family, I think, if I remember, family was big in the Coca-Cola business over there in Cookeville, Tennessee, back in the day. Kansas has received a $300 million gift from donor David Booth, believed to be among the largest single gifts in the history of college athletics. $300 million. Wonder what they'll do with that money.
Well, it must be nice. Oh, the basketball team's going to get some nice gear, I'm sure. It would be really nice to be able to cut a $300 million check, because if you can cut a check that large, you certainly have the money to cover it. And so, that'd be really nice.
Yeah,
I don't believe I'm really going to get there, Phil.
Yeah, he probably feels like he's not going to miss it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's not going to miss it. $300 million to Kansas. Of course, they've just they've either finished redoing their football stadium or they're in the process of redoing their football stadium. They're pouring a lot of money. They love that coach. They love that coach. He came in and turned them around and made them respectable within a year or two. I think they kind of dropped off a little bit last year, did they not? I think they kind of dropped off a little bit last year. But they do like that coach there at Kansas, and he's kind of made Kansas a little more relevant in football than they have been in a lot of years. Their basketball program, of course, Bill Self has had some health issues. Just came through a scare with his heart, had to have some stents put in. But he says he's back to 100% and ready to rock and roll. So Kansas basketball will continue, whether it's Bill Self or whoever's coaching them. They got such that tradition and that following. Have you ever been inside Allen Fieldhouse?
I have not. It's on the bucket list. I've not ever been to Lawrence, Kansas, as a matter of fact. So I think going to the Fog would certainly be on the bucket list. I did notice that Pete Themmel in his report, David Booth already has his name on the football stadium to begin with, and they're going to use $75 million of his new $300 million gift towards phase 2 of the renovations around that stadium.
I had the chance to visit Lawrence one time while I was out there for when South Carolina played in the NCAA tournament in Kansas City. They made a quick exit, and I had to kill 3 days. I couldn't fly back until like the next Monday. And so I drove over to Lawrence, about 40 miles from Kansas City, and walked around the campus and walked over to Allen Fieldhouse. The door was open. I walked in.
Wow.
It was just like a big aircraft hangar, just a huge building with 16,000 seats, but so much history in there and so many great players to come through there. Okay, folks have lined up. Let's go ahead and jump to the phones. Let's go to Jerry over in Greenwood. Hello, Jerry. Welcome into Sports Talk. How you doing?
My correction, it's actually Terry.
Hello, Terry. Welcome to Sports Talk. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Long-time fan, first-time caller.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to get you straight on the truck races, man. I mean, I don't follow NASCAR like I used to. I used to live in Charlotte and go to all the races. But anytime the trucks are on the track, whether it be Darlington or anywhere, man, it's always a close race. And those things, they really they got a lot of speed.
What makes them run so close together then?
I guess because they look like they're like, buried light in weight. So, I mean, they're like wiggling all over the place. I mean, it's when they get 3 and 4 wide, sometimes it's crazy, man. I mean, but it's always a good race. It's usually, within a car length. I mean, I've been watching it for years. It's good. It's good racing.
All right, I'm going to take both of your words for it then. You got Bergey's already campaigning, and I'll take your word for it as well.
And I had an itchy finger. I listened, and I was really wanting to win those tickets, but I only heard half the question, and your guy cut in and wanted to know my name, and I didn't hear the question, so I guess I'll disqualify myself.
No. The question is, we'll give you a shot at the question. The question is, in 85, in '85 when Bill Elliott won the $1 million for the first time at Darlington in the Southern 500 that year. It was another Hall of Fame driver who was leading the race and appeared to be on his way to victory until his car basically died on him, and Elliott was able to overtake him and win the race. Who was that driver who finished? I guess the car didn't die on him. He finished second. But who was the guy who finished second in that 85 race?
85. It was Rusty Wallace.
Rusty Wallace. Was it Rusty Wallace, Plummer? Man.
No.
Hey, Terry, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I enjoyed the show, big guy. Good show.
Keep in touch. Let's go to Richard in Sumter. Next up here on Sports Talk. Hello, Richard. How are you?
I'm pretty good, guys. How y'all doing this afternoon?
Terrific. Good to have you with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Enjoy the show. Listen to you all the time on the way home.
We thank you for that.
Definitely my first time calling as well, so I do really enjoy y'all's show.
What's on your mind?
Well, I'll give a shot at the question. That's one thing.
All right, go ahead.
The truck racing, I can agree as well. The truck racing is good.
I give up.
The ones I've been through, like at Martinsville, they're good.
I give up.
It's very good. Always exciting to see.
You're right on it, Bergie.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Southern 500.
Not leading you wrong.
I mean, the Southern 500 is obviously a crown jewel, and it's a great race. But I'm telling you, if you're new to NASCAR in particular, the truck races are shorter. So I think you'll enjoy that race just as much as the Southern 500.
All right, what you got on the question, Richard? You got an answer for us?
I believe Cale Yarborough.
Cale Yarborough. Well, look at there. Good job.
I wish it would have been Rusty Wallace, but, Cale Yarborough, I'll take him as well.
Great driver, great South Carolinian, big forearms, really good football player at Timmonsville High School back in the day.
Toughest one out there, just about always.
It was Yarborough's number 28 T-Bird. Started billowing smoke on lap 323, allowing Elliott to make the pass on the inside. Drew a caution. Elliott would hold off Yarborough for the final 44 laps to claim that win. And Richard, congrats. Hang on. We got to get some info. We'll get the tickets right to you. Back in a moment.
75 years. One reputation. Too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are. Rookie or vet. Playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th to 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Every lottery ticket purchase keeps education in our state moving forward. In fact, the lottery has raised more than $200 million for state school buses to get our students to school safely every day. Then, the lottery helps those students go even further in their education by funding the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. So remember, when you play the lottery, you're keeping South Carolina students on the road to success. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Hi, this is Major Billy Downer, and coming up tonight at 7:30, it's another edition of SC Wow from the Department of Natural Resources on the Sports Talk Media Network.
Straight Up Sports is simply all sports
all the time.
Straight Up Sports is a collection of retired and award-winning sports writers and sports broadcasters from around South Carolina.
Like Bob Gillespie from the State Newspaper,
Scott Kiefer from the Greenville News,
and Mark Sturgis from ESPN Upstate.
Straight Up Sports is about the stories,
just like the days gone by with no editors nor managers involved.
Check us out on Facebook or Twitter or online at straightupsports.net.
George Bryan here with Tsunami Bar Sports and some great spring golf news. If you're ready to mash your tater, I think you need a Laginator. And if you want to get more speed and crack the whip, it's time for a mini stick. So TsunamiBarSports.com, GB10 to get 10% off the Laginator and the mini stick. That's TsunamiBarSports.com, GB10 for 10% off.
All right, we are back. Sports Talk on the road here at Charleston Southern. Coach and players will be with us here after the bottom of the hour break. We'll hear from some Gamecocks and Tigers later on. We have got some recruiting information for you as well coming up, update some other news notes, and it is an SC Wild night tonight here on Sports Talk. We have confirmed with Major Billy Downer that he will be with us, and he's going to have a special guest, the new executive director of the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. We'll be on with him. So that should be very, very interesting. We're hitting that time of year, of course. Football season, deer season around the corner, all kind of stuff happening in the great outdoors. Certainly you have a question, a comment for the major or for the director of DNR. Tonight be a great night to reach out to them and share your thoughts with them. All right, all that is coming up tonight here on Sports Talk. So as far as anything else going on today, Bergie, pretty quiet day as far. I think I've hit on all the big stuff. Did I miss anything while I was traveling that you were keeping an eye on?
No, it's somewhat of a slight day weather-wise. News, well, certainly was weather-wise, too. All those storms had moved through. But sports-wise, when John Blau, the Post and Courier, tweets out a picture of Dolph Lundgren, Ivan Drago being in Colombia. Evidently, he's filming a movie in Colombia. And I didn't realize he went to Clemson.
He did?
Yeah, according to John, he's a former Clemson student.
Wow, I would have never guessed that. Would have never known that. Okay, back with the Buccaneers after the break.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Cloudy and muggy tonight with 30% chance of some overnight showers, the low dipping to 76. Tomorrow it's on and off thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, a high of 90. More of the same for Friday and Saturday, but on Sunday we do expect a mostly sunshine-filled day. Hooray! Weekend high temperatures around 90 degrees. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
Escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life with Spa MD, your sanctuary of rejuvenation. Feel the tension melt away as our expert team guides you through your customized wellness journey. From soothing massages to revitalizing treatments, we promise a remarkable experience that leaves you feeling renewed and empowered. Discover the calm within every visit. Reach out at 251-9400 or online at visitspamd.com to explore your options. Your oasis of tranquility awaits.
Later this with SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Officials say new sandbag-style barriers installed along a river in Alaska's capital city have held back record levels of flooding and prevented widespread damage after an ice dam at the nearby Mendenhall Glacier released a massive amount of rainwater and snowmelt downstream. Water pooled on several streets and in some yards in Juneau after the Mendenhall River crested Wednesday, but there were no damage reports. President Trump says there will be very severe consequences if Russian President Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war against Ukraine after the two leaders meet for a summit later this week in Alaska. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 463 points. The NASDAQ rose 31. More details at srnnews.com.
We haven't read a letter from a homeowner in a while, but this one was so good we had to share it. Quote, "We moved to Columbia about a year ago, heard your commercials on the radio, never thought I'd be writing one myself. We needed a roof and called 3 companies, Bergen and 2 others. One claimed to be the best, the other the premium roofer. Both were out-of-state owned, seriously overpriced. One even claimed they had someone who used to work for you. Shady all around. Bergen was honest, upfront, didn't take a dime until we were happy with the job. So thank you, Bergen Roofing." End quote. Well, we say thank you, Charles. Folks, Bergen Roofing is still locally owned and operated and always will be. No out-of-state investors pulling the strings, just a trusted team that puts homeowners first, not profit margins. If you're comparing roofers, ask who really owns the company. Bergen has served the Midlands for decades. Doesn't answer to any corporate boardrooms in another time zone. Just call the folks you can trust. Call Bergen, your neighborhood roofer, today. 798-ROOF. That's 798-ROOF.
If you've never had genuine Wagyu or Hereford steaks and burgers, you don't know what you're missing. Time to order the best of the best from HandJCattle.com. These are local farmers in Saluda where tradition meets quality. The best quality beef and a discount for Point listeners. Enter keyword The Point as one word and get 10% off, plus free delivery in Lexington and Richland County orders of $50 or more. It's cooked in season over at HandJCattle.com.
Maybe your credit's seen better days, or maybe it's just never been quite where you want it to be. At Founders Federal Credit Union, we get it. Life happens. Things don't always go according to plan. But that doesn't mean your goals are out of reach. Whether it's a car to get to work or a little extra breathing room in your budget, we offer personal and auto loans to help you move forward. With flexible terms and a team that treats you like a person, not a number. We take the time to understand because you don't need a perfect credit score to start your next chapter. Visit a local Founders office or foundersfcu.com to learn more. Founders, helping you do life on your terms, helping you build a brighter financial future. All it takes is one visit to foundersfcu.com to get you started. Relax, you've got this with Founders. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Sweet from Sweet Comfort Services HVAC. We're locally owned and operated, which really helps keep pricing reasonable. With lower overhead and more accountability, we stand by the systems we install, our repairs, and our parts. Most nationally owned companies know they have plenty of work this time of year when it's really hot. We'll treat you great no matter what time of year it is. Call Sweet Comfort Services HVAC at 803-331-8143. That's 803-331-8143.
Well, that music can mean one thing and one thing only. We are at Charleston Southern University tonight on the Palmetto Pigskin Tour. As we continue around the state, we've come down to the coast, and we're here at Charleston Southern, home of the Buccaneers, as they get ready for their season here in just a couple of weeks. We've got Coach Gabe Gardenia joining us now in between some work sessions. You guys are going to be doing a little something later on tonight.
Yeah, got a little walkthrough.
Yeah.
You know, if we can keep the rain away.
But you saw that rainbow.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Pot of gold, man, right over here at Charleston Southern, huh?
That's right, right there in the shipyard. Yeah, probably in the end zone.
There you go. There you go. So it's great to see you again.
Yeah, it's absolutely great to see you.
Yeah,
you know,
always
thanks for coming to the Low Country.
Our pleasure. We love it. We love it. Fill us in on practice so far. What you think of your guys?
Well, I think it's been a good 12 days of getting after it. It's been physical. It's been a little hard, which is great, kind of toughening up our team and finding out, you know, who we can count on and who needs a little bit more development. And good to, see Zoltan Osborne back fully healthy under center and that beautiful flowing mane, that he has.
Still hasn't cut the hair.
Oh, no. I tell him, keep it all the time. So it's part of your brand. Frozen ropes. Anyway, but it's been good. I think the leadership of our team has really been stood out and got some guys who are kind of get the right message, but also the right attitude and action behind it. So it's been a good camp, trying to get a little bit better every day, and it's been fun.
Navigating the kind of season that you went through last year and trying to hold everything together.
Sure.
Real test for you as a head coach, because it could have been an entirely different season with a couple of more points here or there, a break here or there. What was it like for you?
Definitely hardest year of my, career, let's take that in check, right? I was just a football coach, it's not like we, lost a family member or anything like that. So I say that, with a little bit of conviction and humility. But professionally, obviously very tough. You're 100% right. Just found out, hey, you have to give yourself the opportunity to win. And there's some things we did not do consistently on Saturdays with, just taking care of the ball, making kicks, performing in critical moments, and just having some kind of silly errors, I think, early in games. I think we had, a 3-game stretch there where we turned it over on our first possession, and most of those were kind of self-inflicted wounds, things that are totally fixable. So, you look at your program and really our family. It's what we talk about all the time, and trying to find some ways to score some more points, and just take care of the football and be a high football IQ team, which means knowing what it takes to win, and giving ourselves the right to win, and that's eliminating a lot of those things we just talked about.
When you assess things since last year, going through your off-season program, your weight program, your spring practice, now here in fall camp, where are you seeing the most improvement overall in this football team?
Well, I think it's just in our grit and our mentality. I think we had a talented team last year, and I think we have a very talented team this year. But I think it's just in our ability to sustain performance for 4 quarters, to just be calm, cool, and collected in critical moments, and just do those little things that we're talking about. We've been really hard on our guys about penalties and pre-snap and post-snap stuff, just eliminating that, because I really feel like that that cost us against Gardner-Webb. And so it's been good to see the improvement. It's been good to see just the improvement of our team speed and talent level. I think we're faster. I think we're more dynamic. And then obviously turning the keys over here to Seth Strickland and letting him, run this offense and has been good. And I think defensively we've been stingy for 2 years, so we got to keep adding layers to that.
What does Seth bring to the table? Seth Strickland, former South Carolina quarterback, and he's been a coach for a number of years. Was it Anderson before he came here?
Sure. I think Seth is just really smart. I think he's a very good leader of not just our offensive staff, but the whole entire offense, players on down. So he's very creative. He understands how we play. Seth and I and really Coach Gervais, our defensive coordinator, Nick, have worked together before, and we know we got to win as a team. We got to play defense around here, and that's going to take, all 3 units. I
like that, defense.
Yeah, got to do it together.
Where'd that come from?
I don't even know.
Did you create that?
No, definitely not. I don't know what my site needs to be, so don't turn me in for plagiarism because I didn't cite it, okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, ChatGPT. But anyway, we just a concept that you started introducing last year, and really has carried over. And so we know that, I don't think we're going to be this offense that scores 50 points a game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we know we're not going to give up 50. I don't want to win 50 to 49. We got to play well on offense, defense, and special teams. So it's going to take all of us, me included. There's some decisions that I'm, looked at myself, with some clock stuff and, late game stuff. Hey, what can I do better to give us a chance to win? But at the end of the day, it's just got to come down to playing hard, right? Taking care of the football, being explosive, and eliminating those things, pre and post snap that hurt you, and that I think gives us a chance to win and really be a high football IQ team. We're talking about overtime, and just our guys knowing what to expect before it even comes. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what we have here at CSU. We got some smart guys, we got some talented guys. But that's got to be the character of our football team.
And Seth, having been kind of at the elbow of Steve Spurrier for a number of years, You see some of that in his offensive play style and play calling and his approach to offense?
Well, Phil, we play South Carolina State, I think, the 5th game of the season. I don't really want to tell them what we do.
Yeah.
But here's what I'll say. Seth is very smart, and he has put his own stamp on this offense. But we're playing to his strengths, but also our team's personality. And our team, number one, we got to love each other. We got to play with relentless effort. We got to play with physical brutality, and we got to love the team. Mm-hmm. And if we do those 4, if people watch our film and they see those 4 things, I think we got a great chance to win every week. And so Seth has come in very seamlessly. Him and Landon Martin from Pelzer, South Carolina. How about that?
A wonderful town. I got many a speeding ticket going through there.
Great speed travel.
Yes.
Yes.
Pelzer and West Pelzer.
Well, the police department's well funded right now.
It is.
Courtesy of Phil Kornblum. But those two together have done just a good job of putting a little bit new flavor to what we do and how we do it. But I think the approach has been smart. It's been kind of physical and tough, but it's not just we're not this team that's just gonna, like I said before, blow you out. We got to play together.
Defense. What do you see on that side of the ball?
Well, I think we got a lot of experience at the linebacker level. I really like those guys. We've got a ton of snaps logged. Got to find out about our corners. We didn't play great at corner last year, and so we kind of reinvented the room. This is we're the day and the age of the transfer portal, and so you got to go out and you got to find some guys that you feel like can help you. And then defensive line wise, I think David Portu, having him back is great. I think having Malik McKenzie from Sumter, who's a transfer for us. He's we call him the Terminator. You know what I'm saying? He's such a great guy. He's going to be like a doctor. He's like a 3.9 GPA, and he's maybe you should call him the doctor of defense. But those guys just really play hard. Coach Gervais, Nick is. We're not going to sit there and just play base. I can tell you that. We're going to come after you. We're going to mix it up. Try to confuse the quarterback, try to confuse those big guys up front, and stress people mentally so we can stress them when we go hit them.
Got a great punter.
Yeah, Gil's we call him the golden leg, okay? And so Gil,
I got another nickname for him, though.
Oh, what is that?
Well, you're a Packers. Well, the Packers, the great defensive nose guard they had, Gilbert Brown. He's known as the Undertaker.
Yeah, that's right.
The Undertaker.
Gilbert Brown, he's the guy that had like the Whoppers named after him up there.
He was so big. He was 360 pounds, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like your Gilbert Brown even more.
That's a great point. But Gil, sky punt starts further back for Gilbert Brown than most punters, and he's been a real weapon for us. Has done a great job. He can flip the field, and more than that, he's a good person and a great representative, I think, of what it is to be a Charleston Southern student athlete.
Challenging start to this season.
Sure.
Not that any season isn't, but this one's kind of challenging.
Yeah, I think our season is like 3 phases. We have these FBS non-conference games, right? Vandy and Coastal, and then we have FCS non-conference with William and Mary and South Carolina State, and then we have the league. So that's how we're going to approach it. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to work through each phase, and we can't logo stare. Can't be, oh gosh,
Mm-hmm.
we just got to go play and be ourselves and play our brand of football. I think we really at the end of the year, I know we played, so it'd be our back-to-back. We played Florida State at the end of the year, and I actually thought we played pretty well in that game. We just played very free,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we got to get our guys to do. Just go cut it loose, play free, play hard for each other, play hard for Charleston Southern, and that's going to kind of be our mindset early, and then we'll settle in.
And the key, as you mentioned early, take care of the little things. It's the little things that you really have to address 100%. And take care of that's going to make the difference this year compared to last year.
Yeah, I mean, you lose 5 games by 5 points or less. I mean, you're in them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now you've got to make up that small margin. I mean, it's Every coach says this, right? The margin between winning and losing is so infinite. But never in my life has it been more real than last year, right? And so I don't want to learn a lesson twice, you know. I want to teach the class the next time. So I'm excited. I think our guys are ready to go compete. I really feel like the Lord has been just working on this team, even spiritually. You know, we've had some guys, you know, get baptized in the spring, and we've had 2 nights in a row where guys who came to Charleston Southern, weren't Christians, have grown and become Christians in their relationship with the Lord. And for me, that's the end of that's the ticket, Phil, right?
Yeah.
Now, I want to win, and we need to win, and that's,
Yeah.
I realize that too, but I just think coaching is so much deeper than Saturdays, and it's the other 355 days a year where you get to, be a part of these guys' lives, and they get to be a part of mine. Golly, they teach me a lot of things. Got guys showing them office today, just talking about life and gratitude and being appreciative of their opportunity here, which is so refreshing, right? Like within this transfer portal age, within this
financial age, this financial transaction age.
NIL. I mean, it's just crazy. But to have someone walk in your office and say, I love being a Buccaneer. I thank you for the opportunity that you've given me to be and to play here. It just shows to me we got a special program, and the fruit is going to come, and I'm excited to see it, and I'm not going to be surprised by it. But, I learned a great lesson this summer. It was a lesson about glory, and there's a good little kind of semi-acronym. Their acronym here is going to be God's light or yours that you're about, right? And so it ain't going to be about me. It's going to be about honoring the King of Kings. And so I'm excited to honor Christ in this, and I think our team is. We're not perfect. We're going to end up, with a personal foul somewhere. But I know this. Our guys are hungry to compete and to play hard for each other and for CSU.
We thank you, as always, for coming up. You kicked it right through the uprights, just like your day at Alabama.
I wish I'd made a few more, but saw the field a little bit. But look, I can't thank you enough for being here. It means the world to me and our university to be on your show and to get to talk a little football, man. It's that time of year.
We always love coming down to see you, and we're going to hit up your players here after the break. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hope it goes well.
Yeah.
And thanks for the time as always.
All right. Thanks, Phil.
That's Coach Gabe Gardenia here at Charleston Southern University. And after the break, we got a couple of the Buccaneers joining us, and they'll be here in just a moment, including the punter. And so we'll get to those guys coming up here in just a moment. Looks like the weather's cleared up a little bit so they can go to work here at 7 o'clock. And we'll watch them as they work on the field, and we sit up here and relax in the air condition. And you guys sweat your buns off down there. So, all right, back after the break, we'll have more with the Buccaneers from here at Charleston Southern.
"75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame." The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Has your credit seen better days? At Founders Federal Credit Union, we get it. Life happens. That's why we offer personal and auto loans that help you move forward. With flexible terms and a team that sees more than just a number. You don't need perfect credit to start your next chapter. Visit foundersfcu.com or a local office today. Founders, helping you do life on your terms. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Major Billy Downer, and coming up tonight at 7:30, it's another edition of SC Wow from the Department of Natural Resources on the Sports Talk Media Network.
I'm attorney Jim Corbett. I'm not a case manager. I'm a lawyer for over 35 years. I don't charge 40% for your injury in your wreck case or any on-the-job injury. Call 803-765-2968 and ask for Jim Corbett, or email me, jim@jimcorbettattorney.com, for the experience of a lawyer handling your injury case. Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968. Jim@jimcorbettattorney.com. Put 35 years of experience to work on your injury case.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network here at Charleston Southern on our Palmetto Pigskin Tour stop tonight. And let me get my is my camera a little off there? Let's see here. Let's get both of these guys in here so folks who are watching the stream can see them. There we go. So we've got Noah Summers from Rock Hill. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Let me get you turned up there. And Gilbert Brown from Virginia.
Richmond Hill, Georgia.
Richmond Hill, Georgia. Yes, I heard Richmond, so I was thinking Virginia. So you're from Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And they call you the Golden Leg?
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Tell me about your punting, man. I saw where you're second team All-American and all that kind of good stuff, FCS. So tell us about the leg.
Yes, sir. It just started up my junior year in high school. Credit to my brother. He got me into the game. And from there, I got surrounded by the right mentors, the right coaches. They just motivated me and encouraged me every day to just push on, trying to pursue what I want to become, which is reach the NFL, play professional football one day. And from there, it's just, just working every day. My mom motivated me to stay at the grind. So credit to them for sure.
Awesome. Noah, you watch this guy kick the ball?
Yes, sir, I do.
What's it like from ground level?
Oh, I love it. I just snap it to him, and every time I know when he gets the ball in his hands, he's going to do something with it. He's probably the best punter I've ever snapped to. I just love watching him kick the football. I know it's going to be in the good location every time. I know exactly where to go down the field and cover. So it's just awesome to have a guy like Gil back there.
Were you a deep snapper in high school too?
Yes, sir, I was.
Really? Did you play any other OL positions, or have you just always been a snapper?
No, sir. I've been a snapper since freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
I played middle linebacker as well. Whenever I was getting into high school, I was about 5'2".
Yeah.
Didn't have another way on the field. So they asked one day at practice freshman year who could snap, and without knowing anything about it, I told them I could do it. Started watching YouTube videos and got pretty good at it. Started training with a guy up in Charlotte named Mark Erie, and then after that, just started going to camps, getting exposure, and ended up here.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
What is your snap time?
Our op times right now are about a 1.8 to 2.0. So I would guess low 0.7s, 0.73, 0.74.
That's awesome. He gets it to you in good shape?
Oh, yeah. So
he puts it right where you want it?
Yes, sir.
Which is where? Where do you want it?
Usually it's right on the right hip. Sometimes when we do offsets, it's perfectly just to give me the right amount of time to get the ball off. So
yeah, that's great, man. That's great. It's not often we have special teams guys. We're usually talking quarterbacks, wide receivers. It's good. It's a because people kind of overlook special teams, right? No, I mean you guys are as important as anybody else.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, special teams, we actually were talking about in our meeting earlier in fall camp was special teams between 17 and 18% of every football game. And so think about the swing that you can have just from a good punt return or a punter like Gil that can pin it inside the 5-yard line. I mean, that's a big percentage of a football game that can change a lot of games, and it did for us last year. And I think it will this year in a positive way.
Gilbert, are you they call you Gil or Gilbert?
Gilly.
Gilly.
Yes, sir.
Gilly. Okay. So do you prefer the boom? I mean, a 60-footer, a 60-yarder, or do you like to nail it the coffin corner like at the 2-3 yard line? What gives you the greatest satisfaction?
It's a bit of a loaded question. It's always great when you have a big punt off your foot and you see it go 60 to 70 yards down the field. But then it's on the backside of it. It's also amazing when you can take a returner out of the game and pin him deep, and he's frustrated. Why can't he get the ball in his hands, get a return? And so honestly, I love trying to make sure that the returner has little to no room to work with the game. basically take him out of the game for sure.
But what's it like being a great player at your position and nobody wants to see you? Because that means, you haven't moved the football. We got to go punt it. Nobody wants to see the punter.
It's a bit of a humbling position to be in, but honestly, I love it. I know that my team is behind me. They're trusting in me to get the job done, so that's all I need. My family's in the crowd, cheering the loudest. I always hear my mom screaming.
Yeah.
My little sister, she's yelling all the time. And so they just mean the world to me, and it really lifts me up, when, it's fourth down and then maybe the momentum, the energy isn't there on our team. They're easily there just to motivate me and inspire me to just stick with it.
Flip the field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Noah, what about this team? Tough year last year, of course. Very close, though, in a lot of games. What are you sensing from you and your teammates as you go through this camp?
Well, I'm seeing a lot more team unity this year than last year. This will be my fourth season playing at Charleston Southern, and by far this year, it's probably been the best camp that I've seen, honestly. Defense especially, those guys look just very unified out there. Seeing a lot of guys with different position groups, like just friends with each other, and just seeing them hanging out and interacting off the field too, which is always important. And also offensively, new offense, watching them move the ball during scrimmages, especially this past Saturday. It's just very encouraging to see, knowing that hopefully we won't be out there as much.
Yeah.
Which is sad for us to say, but great for the team, yes, sir.
Do you don't snap on the field goals?
Yes, sir. Last year I did punts and field goals, and this year we're not sure yet.
Not sure yet.
Yes, sir.
But you could handle it if you needed to.
Yes, sir, I could.
Yeah. All right. Gilly, what's your feeling about this year's team? That maybe they won't need you so much out there to flip the field and pin back the opponent.
It's a great feeling to know that I have a team to trust on offense. A lot of explosive players, a lot of transfers, a lot of signees. We have a lot of firepower coming out, looking to throw the ball more. We have running backs that are going to do phenomenal work. Like you said, the defense is coming along really well. Looks like a strong stone wall is going to be built. We have guys like Malik McKenzie, several guys like David Portu, Mylan Bowen. And so these guys, they're coming out the gate, they're going to set the tone really, really early. So I believe in the team a lot.
When I go to football practices, I love to watch the special team guys because you guys are over there having a little party. Everybody else is over there banging heads. You're kicking field goals and you're throwing up punts and you're tossing the ball up in the air various ways. You're just hanging out and chilling. Special teams, man, you got to love it. If I could do it over again, I'd be a punter myself. So, guys, thank you so much for being with us. Good luck to you this year. Hope it goes well.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Gilly Brown and Noah Summers from here at Charleston Southern. Top of the hour.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump has announced the first batch of Kennedy Center Honors nominees in his new role as chairman. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
Country music star George Strait and Rocky actor Sylvester Stallone lead the list of recipients for this year's Kennedy Center Honors. The other honorees are singer Gloria Gaynor, the rock band Kiss, and actor-singer Michael Crawford.
The 48th Kennedy Center honorees are outstanding people, standing group, incredible. We can't wait.
Donald Trump, who said he was 98% involved in selecting the honorees, also announced that he will host the awards program. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Mexico has sent 26 high-ranking cartel figures to the United States. Correspondent Donna Warder reports.
They were put on planes Tuesday after the U.S. Justice Department agreed not to seek the death penalty against any of them or any cartel leaders and members sent to the U.S. in February. Included in the latest deal is Abigail Gonzalez Valencia, a leader of Los Queenies, a group aligned with the notorious Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Late last month, President President Trump agreed to delay threatened 30% tariffs for another 90 days to allow for negotiations. Donna Warder, Washington.
It's the latest move in a series of major deals with the Trump administration as American authorities ratchet up pressure on criminal networks smuggling drugs across the border. A jury in South Texas has found 2 bakery owners accused of concealing and harboring employees in the U.S. illegally guilty. Leonardo Baez and Nora Avila Gell are a Mexican couple who are legal permanent residents in the U.S. On Wall Street, the Dow by 463 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you're living with pain, see how Relief Factor can help.
I'm an artist and I'm in my studio. I listen to the radio all day and I'm hearing the ads about Relief Factor. And I've got pain in my neck and it's getting worse. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to go ahead and order this. 2 weeks later, I've got much better range of motion. If you're experiencing pain at a certain point in life, I would get Relief Factor.
Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. Go to ReliefFactor.com and get your 3-week quick start today. Only $19.95.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat, but imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Wall Street ticks higher after a worldwide rally.
Stocks rose to more records on Wall Street as hopes build for lower interest rates. The S&P 500 rose 0.3% Tuesday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 463 points. It's about 1%. The Nasdaq Composite added 0.1%. Treasury yields eased in the bond market. Traders are now widely expecting the Federal Reserve to cut its main interest rate in September. Stocks of home builders and other companies that would benefit from lower interest rates helped lead the way. Pulte Group and Lennar each rose about 5%. Seth Sutel, New York.
The U.S. government's gross national debt has surpassed $37 trillion, setting a new record. This highlights the rapid acceleration of debt on America's balance sheet and the increasing cost pressures on taxpayers. News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Cloudy and muggy tonight with 30% chance of some overnight showers, the low dipping to 76. Tomorrow it's on and off thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, a high of 90. More of the same for Friday and Saturday, but on Sunday we do expect a mostly sunshine-filled day. Hooray! Weekend high temperatures around 90 degrees. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make the point.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number. 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
The sun is out here in North Charleston at Charleston Southern University. We had some real heavy weather there for about 15-20 minutes, but it's Charleston. Give it about 15 or 20 minutes. It'll turn beautiful once again, but it's hot and humid out there. Thanks to the guys here at Charleston Southern as we continued on the Palmetto Pigskin Tour tonight, presented by Discover PalmettoSportsConnections.com. Brand new website. You're going to want to check it out, Discover PalmettoSportsConnections.com. Appreciate their involvement in what we're doing here on Sports Talk, traveling the state. Tomorrow night, back in Charleston, over at El Cid. Always love going to the Citadel. I always feel like a better American when I've spent a little time on their campus. When's the last time you walked around the Citadel there, Bergie?
Last year, 2 years ago, Coastal had a basketball scrimmage over there. And so I got to tour around the Citadel a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You feel like a better American for doing so?
I absolutely do, and am grateful for the young men and women who can go through the Citadel for us, because I know I couldn't. It's not
I
even
watched
up
a
for
guy.
debate.
I was there when Ellis Johnson was the football coach. We went over there to watch a little spring practice, and one of the poor knobs, I guess it was inside one of the, I don't know what you call them, one of the checkerboard areas there, inside the dorm area, the checkerboards, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he had to sweep, but he had to sweep in squares. And
oh my gosh.
It was wasn't funny to him.
No.
But he was you had to sweep and put it in the pan and then turn and sweep. It was, it's the Citadel. It's what makes the Citadel what it is. And listen, it's easy for me to say. I could never go through it. I would never want to see it change. The people that go through the Citadel, they swear by it. They absolutely swear by it, and it certainly makes you a better person coming out for the most part.
Our
Don't
state
know that
loves
I
the Citadel
handle it
as well. We should. People who graduate from the Citadel in South Carolina, that is a golden ticket in our state, and I think it should be.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful institution.
Yeah, they have a very tight connection among Citadel grads. A couple of things I want to mention. If you want to jump on board, 888-898-2525, South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number for you. One of the other, let me do this. The poll question of the week brought to you by Larry Lucas Insurance Columbia, 803-799-1998. All your insurance needs under one roof with one phone call. And the question is, Clemson, 0-3 against the SEC last season, averaging 14 points per game in those 3 games. They opened with LSU, which did allow 24 points per game last season. How many points will Clemson score against LSU? Will they score over 35, between 28 and 35, 21 to 28, or under 21? And it's pretty tight. 37.5% of the votes have the Tigers scoring between 3 and 4 touchdowns, 21 to 28 points. 34.4% believe they'll do 28 to 35. About 22% say the Tigers will not score 21. And 6.3% believe they'll go over 35. I think I'm in that 21 to 28 category, Bergie. I think it's going to be one of those games. I'm looking at something like a 24-21, 28-27 kind of thing, as Larry Munson would say. And you say?
Well, as I mentioned last night, I think they get to 30. If they don't score over 21 points, I don't think they win. As good as Clemson's defense is, I think LSU is going to be able to score, 3 touchdowns. So I think the Tigers have got to put some points up on the board. So if they don't get to 27, I think they're going to be in trouble.
Okay. I think it's going to be a heck of a ball game. Again, we talked about some of the injuries going on around Clemson right now that they have to deal with. I think the Walker Parks injury at right guard could be – they got guys who can step in and play because they've all played. But, again, that sort of impacts your depth chart and your plan on rotating guys. It would mean Thurman would have to move up and be ready to play, Pennington as well. So could be a little bit of an issue depending on the severity of that injury. And I guess we won't find out anything officially until tomorrow when Dabo Swinney talks with the media after their next scrimmage over at Death Valley.
Or until Clemson gets him to go swim in Lake Hartwell, which seems to cure all injuries up there at Clemson.
It does. Waters. They do heal. They do heal quickly. They do heal quickly. While we're on the subject of Clemson and defense, of course, secondary looks pretty good, especially the corner spot. They have an injury issue with Khalil Barnes at one safety position that's causing them to move some guys around. Maybe it's going to be Ricardo Jones back there starting. It could be Khalil Barnes. We'll have to see what happens here over the next couple of weeks. But we've got a little bit of an audio piece here, Bergie, with Shelton Lewis, one of the cornerbacks there. Probably be I imagine he'll be in more of a backup role. It looks like the corners are pretty well set with Hampton on one end and Terrell on the other, but he provides some necessary depth back there. What'd you hear from him?
And he's actually coming off an injury himself and feels like he's back to 100% and really seems to like it. Every Clemson defensive player, they can't give any more praise to Tom Allen than what we've heard thus far. But he met with the media yesterday and fielded a few questions, first off about his injury and how camp is going thus far for the Tigers and Shelton Lewis.
Battled some injuries last night. I guess how does it feel entering the spring and in preseason just healthy?
It feels good just building that camaraderie with your team, new DC, just coming together as a team, going through the hurt with each other, going through the grind, going through practices, going through weight room. It just feels great, so I can't complain.
You mentioned the new DC. I guess what has Tom Allen kind of brought to the team so far through his team so far?
He brought accountability, love, toughness. Them his three pillars he rely on, and he just teach us to go out there, have goals for each day, and just focus on what we can control as a defense, which that we can control our accountability, our toughness, and how we love each other. We're gonna play fast.
I think you mentioned, I guess, simplifying the defense. I guess not to get to like specifics. I guess what does that look like? Like I guess a basic standpoint for you guys.
Just playing within the personnel we got. We just want to play fast and physical. Just don't go out there and try to think too much. Get a call from the sideline. Just let us play.
Yeah, and that LSU wide receiver room kind of as a whole is highly talented, perhaps the best one that you guys will face all year. Knowing that y'all faced them week one, what kind of excitement does that give the cornerback room?
We're going to approach every game like we playing a top receiver, so it don't matter if we play any team that we play, we're going to give the same approach that we give from Monday all the way up into that game. So I think it don't matter the group. Like I said, it's the accountability, the toughness, the love that DC Brown that we're going to attack every day no matter who we play, and we play ourselves. So we just focus on Clemson.
Have you been working primarily nickel so far this camp, or I guess where have you been?
All around, just trying to, wherever the team need me, I'm trying to get there and be the best I can. So I've been both.
What's the biggest thing you've been trying to, I guess, improve on entering this season?
I say just learning this new defense. I can improve in everything, tackling, covering. I mean, as a DB, nobody's perfect. We all got stuff we got to learn from. So I say I just want to harp on everything, just be an all-around player.
You always hear Coach Allen talking about being the best tackling team in the country. You know, how much of an emphasis has that been placed on that in camp?
That's everyday camp. We got a tackling circuit. We just going through, and some days we walk through, some days we full speed. We just want to make sure we get the technique right. So when we out there full speed, we know how to tackle near hip, near shoulder, whatever the case may be, and just make sure we're wrapping up, being physical at the point of attack is what he harp on. So it's every day during camp.
What has the competition been like with the wide receivers? You know, they talked about them being the waves of terror and all the depth that they have. You know, what has that competition been like?
Every day feel like a game. No matter from the top of the depth chart to the bottom, I think everybody have their own ways of just being great. So as a DB, there's no day off when it comes to our receivers. When it comes to them blocking on run plays, pass plays, they working to get to the ball, we working to get to the ball. So I say from ones to whoever at the bottom, it's all the same to me. I think we got some very great receivers that we go against, and we just take every day like it's a game approach on both sides.
Who have you been matching up with most? You know, what have those battles been like?
Shoot, TB, Antonio Williams, everybody. From playing outside and inside, I just think that whole group is kind of learning from each other, from experience to people who's not experienced, and they just helping each other out. So film work. So when they get out there, we not seeing the same thing every day. They kind of switching up their technique. We switching up our technique. So we just learn the various of things from all the guys out there.
Is that the same for Myson Kelly as well? Switching over from receiver to DB, just kind of, I guess, like a fresh start, as you said.
Oh yeah, fresh start. Myson, I say he pushing me every day. And me and him, nickel position, we battling, and he just somebody that I know I got to go out there and give 110 because I know he gonna give 120. So I just got to go out there and just keep pushing myself. He got a fresh start, and he's attacking every day like it's a game. So.
The Sports Talk Recruiting Report is sponsored by Seawell's Catering.
Yeah, just looking at that Clemson secondary before we hit recruiting. Yeah, Shelton Lewis, nickel primarily, as he mentioned, battling with Tink Kelly. Khalil Barnes can play safety, can play nickel. You got Ricardo Jones back there at safety. Tyler Venables back there at safety. Kylon Griffin's another that they have been using back there. Also, Sweeney's talked a lot about former receiver Ronan Hannafin, who they moved to safety Was that towards the end of last year, or was that in the spring? They moved him from receiver. I think it was last year, towards the end of last year. But they're very solid at corner with Terrell and Hampton and Strozier when Lucas is healthy. It really gives them 4. I think Corian Gibson's done some good things as well. So you look for Shelton Lewis back there in safety or nickel, whatever you want to call it, wherever you happen to be. I don't know. So do you consider a nickel? Here's a good question, Bergie. Do you consider a nickel more of a safety type guy or a corner type guy?
No, I think you'd probably lump him in, and again, this is my limited football knowledge. I think you'd lump him into as a safety.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more of a safety type thing. Okay, good stuff. He gave some good answers there to some good questions. Time for recruiting here tonight on Sports Talk, and it is brought to you by our good friends at Seawells. All right, want to remind you, with the fall season upon us, it's more than football season. It's more than deer hunting season. It's big event season, big personal social event season. Things like weddings, things like birthday parties, corporate outings, award banquets, flunking out of college in your first week banquets, things like that. Talking about you, Plumber.
If you're looking at the camera, I'm shaking my head. I mean, it's not going to happen.
I give you 10 days at most.
Okay.
You're crying to come home. Seawells, let them handle that special event with the very special services they provide. 803-771-7385 online at SeawellsCateringSC.com. What's on the menu tomorrow for the daily luncheon buffet?
A big Thursday at Seawell's: meatloaf, carved applewood ham, sesame, and sweet red chili chicken with vegetable lo mein. That's also with southern fried chicken.
It's huge. That is just huge. And what about Friday? We're not having a roast beef Friday, I take it?
No roast beef Friday, but once again, southern fried chicken, sliced beef brisket, fried flounder fillets, and sausages with peppers and onions.
Okay, that's from 11 to 2. It's only $15. You'll find Seawells on Rosewood Drive, right across from the State Fairgrounds. If you're heading down Rosewood and the State Fairgrounds are on your left, look for the Rocket, and Seawells will be across the street on the right. If you're going the other direction and the Rocket's on your right, where will Seawells be, Plumber? If the Rocket's on your right, where is Seawells? Here's your first college exam. Where will Seawells be if the Rocket's on your right?
Directly to the left.
There you go. Man, if you handle everything like that, I think you're going to make A's and B's.
I mean, whenever you smell the roast beef, it's kind of hard. I mean, it just directs you to it. Like my car, I'm not sure if it has a roast beef magnet or what, but just pulls the steering wheel towards it, regardless if a car's coming. You just cross the road.
Are you saying your car is not a chick magnet? It's a roast beef magnet?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's not a chick
roast
magnet.
Beef on the left, elephant ears on the right. You're good to go.
Actually, your car is it's a grandmother magnet, right? Didn't you run into a grandmother?
Aren't we supposed to be doing recruiting here? Isn't this recruiting?
Man, you really tore up your car when you did that. All right, to the recruiting report we go now. Had a chance to talk to one of the top prospects in the state from Dutch Fork. Where else? Loaded once again, as if they need players to come in from elsewhere. 6'3", 270, defensive end Jaden Worth comes in from Augusta to join the Dutch Fork program. And he's evolving into a big-time prospect in the state. South Carolina, Georgia Tech have offered. Clemson's very interested. Group of 5, like Appalachian State, Liberty, Jacksonville State, they've offered as well. But South Carolina's been on him really hard. He was at camp, worked out for the Gamecocks in camp, and they really liked him. They offered him. They see him more as an inside guy, as a defensive tackle, already at 270 pounds, and he's still going to get bigger and put on more weight, but he still has good quickness, uses his hands well, and so he's a guy that can give you a package that can go inside or outside. Clemson also very interested. They've not yet offered. They want to see him a couple of 3 games this year, as he said, against better competition. They did see him in camp as well, and they liked him in camp. They want to see him against better competition here in South Carolina than what he saw there in Georgia. He went to a Clemson game last season. He plans to be at the LSU game and at Georgia Tech when they play Clemson. He plans to be at South Carolina for at least a game as well this coming season. And he likes Clemson as well. He likes both South Carolina and Clemson quite a bit at this particular time. We'll see what happens once he gets that offer from Clemson, which is likely to happen here sometime during the season. Last season in Georgia, I mean, he put up some huge numbers, like 140 total tackles, 38 tackles for loss, and 13 sacks. So he put up some huge numbers. So that that gives Dutch Fork just a monster defensive front with Julian Walker on the other side. They're going to be very, very tough up front again this year, which is kind of what you expect on an annual basis there at Dutch Fork. And I think for now that's going to do it for our recruiting report here on Sports Talk. Our recruiting report is brought to you by Seawells. Remember to check it out regularly on our website. Check out our recruiting information there, SportsTalkSC.com. On Twitter, we are at SC Sports Live. SC Sports Live. One other quick note.
No. SC Sports Now.
SC Sports Now. I should know that by now.
SC Sports Now on Twitter. X.
Defensive end KJ Green from Stone Mountain, Georgia, had been favoring South Carolina, but he told rivals Alabama has now moved to the top of his list. SC Sports Now.
75 years. One reputation. Too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are. Rookie or vet. Playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
We're with Major Billy Downer of the Department of Natural Resources. Major Downer, let's say I'm out in the woods or I'm on the water and I need to reach a DNR agent. How do I do that?
Operation Game Thief, Phil. It's been around 30-plus years. You can call us at our 24-hour hotline any time of day, 1-800-922-5431. To report wildlife violations or to get help if you're in trouble in the woods or on the water, call us at Operation Game Thief, 1-800-922-5431.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
Hi, this is Major Billy Downer, and coming up tonight at 7:30, it's another edition of SC Wow from the Department of Natural Resources on the Sports Talk Media Network.
You've put in the work for your education. The extra early, extra late, extra work. That's because you understand education opens doors to better pay, better opportunities, and a better you. Being educated about playing the lottery is no different. It helps you be a better player, one who knows when to play and when to take a rain check. The lottery's a game, so let's keep it fun. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hosseller-Brown. Did you know Lawyer Lisa offers a prevention plan add-on to our services? If you already have a trust or just need some updates, ask about getting your ducks in a row and getting all of your wishes set out before it's needed. Visit lawyerlisa.com for more information.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
One of the newcomers to South Carolina on the defense, a guy with a big reputation coming out of high school, has not lived up to it in his brief college career, starting out at Texas A&M, now at South Carolina. Here is Gabriel Brownlow Dindy talk to the media the other day about being at South Carolina, starting over with the Gamecocks.
How have you been settling in? Obviously, this defensive line lost some guys up front. Maybe you're looked at as a guy they can plug in right away, but how do you think you're progressing toward that? How are you fitting in?
I think it's a steady progression, still trying to learn stuff. I know it's a new scheme and stuff for me, so I've definitely been trying to learn everything and wrap my head around it so I can play fast.
What does it mean to be an opportunistic defense and one that forces a lot of turnovers?
Striking at the ball, the ball is ours, so we're trying to get it back at all points. So, that comes with, seeing the running back arm, striking at it, trying to get the ball constantly, trying to do jump balls. The ball is ours, so we got to have that mindset that we're trying to get it back.
How would you describe your game and what you can bring to the defensive line room?
I don't like to just give myself a certain thing because I can do it all, but I don't know if there's a certain word. I guess powerful. I bring a lot of power to the D line, but I also bring some finesse. So, versatile, I guess you would say.
Dylan Stewart help the defensive tackles?
Obviously, with the year he had last year, people are going to be like, oh, yeah, we got to stop Dylan Stewart. But, there's a whole bunch of talent in the interior as well, and they kind of leave that behind because they're so focused on Dylan Stewart, and that gives us opportunity to be able to, at least get the pressure off of us a little bit. But, I feel like as the season goes on, that'll kind of change because they'll see what we can do.
What are some things that you learned at your previous stop in college football that you've been able to apply so far here at South Carolina?
Definitely consistency, throughout practice, throughout games and all that stuff like that. It's just having a consistency mindset that, I'm not just going to start practice off good and I'm going to finish it good as well, just throughout practice and not be a up and down type of person.
Where have you seen yourself make the most progress since arriving on campus, and kind of the same thing for the defensive line room as a whole?
Probably kind of speaking up, and I was playing that kind of chill role at A&M, and I got kind of thrown in the fire. It's like, oh yeah, there's people younger than me and stuff like that, and I'm an older guy now, so I gotta be an example for the most part, and I kind of feel like that's what the big part is.
I'll tell you what, they need him to play big. He's a big guy, Bergie. He's big, big, big. They need him to play big. Big, 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 big. Too big for Bergie to handle. Bergie cannot handle it. It's too big for him. Okay, Gabriel Brownlow Dindy coming up. It is going to be a great session with Major Billy Downer, SC Wild from DNR. After the break, don't go away.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Cloudy and muggy tonight with 30% chance of some overnight showers, the low dipping to 76. Tomorrow, it's on and off thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, a high of 90. More of the same for Friday and Saturday, but on Sunday, we do expect a mostly sunshine-filled day. Hooray! Weekend high temperatures around 90 degrees. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
Are you looking for free checking and free savings? Dave Ramsey here, telling you to go see my friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union. They're not a mega bank that's so big they lose the ability to treat you like a human being. At Palmetto Citizens, you're not just a number, you're a member. Join today at any of their 14 locations or at palmettocitizens.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Stay in period. With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The White House says the number of National Guard troops in Washington will ramp up, and federal officers will be on the streets of the nation's capital around the clock. The changes starting Wednesday night come days after President Trump made the unprecedented announcement that his administration would take over the police department for at least a month. 9 people have pleaded not guilty to felony charges brought forth in a rural Texas county by Republican Attorney General Ken Paxton as part of a widening elections investigation. The 9 people who were indicted in June appeared either in person or by Zoom during a court hearing on Wednesday in Pearsall, Texas, before State District Judge Sid Harrell. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 463 points. More details at srnnews.com.
Nobody plans for a plumbing problem. They come unannounced and usually at a very inconvenient time. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning is your trusted ally. They recognize just how vulnerable a customer is at this time, and they want to help. They have well-trained plumbers who are there to make a difference when you need it most. I've experienced this. They're knowledgeable about their craft. They're not coming to your house to pitch new products. If something is broken, they'll give you a price to fix it if it's possible, or a price to replace it if necessary. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning is also locally owned and operated, or I simply wouldn't endorse them. Josh and his team prioritize customer service above everything else. They handle every issue with care and precision. Those are not just words. I've had Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning out to my home. They back up those words with their actions. If you have a crisis, get some peace of mind. Online, you find them at franklinplumbing.sc.com or you call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. I'm absolutely positive they will make whatever is wrong right again. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning.
It's painting season in the Midlands, and Southern Palmetto Painting and Renovation sets the tone for inspired living. Watch your home change from ordinary to outstanding with colors that liven every wall and craftsmanship you can trust. Michael and his team are fully licensed, bonded, and insured. They care for every detail inside and out of your home. Let's give your home the style and care it deserves. Call 922-5615. Southern Palmetto Painting and Renovations, where every project reflects pride.
Hey y'all, it's Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We're introducing the Wing and a Prayer Wednesday Special. Purchase an order of wings and a drink and get a free gift card for the arcade. We have some of the most mouth-watering jumbo wings like flamethrower hot wings, barbecue wings, teriyaki wings, honey mustard wings, terry hot wings. You can get a half dozen for $9.95 or a dozen for $18.95. Served with celery and choice of dressing. So come join us at Flight Deck Restaurant to enjoy some great jumbo wings and lots of fun in our new and improved arcade. We at Flight Deck Restaurant thank y'all and God bless.
At Palmetto State Armory, we offer the largest selection of guns and ammunition at unbeatable prices. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are here to provide personalized assistance, ensuring you find exactly what you need. If you enjoy outdoor activities like hunting, camping, or hiking, our clothing and outdoor gear collection has got you covered. We also feature an exceptional indoor range facility where you can experience the thrill of shooting in a safe and controlled environment. Visit us today at PalmettoStateArmory.com or your local retail store. Palmetto State Armory, American made for life.
This is Fran Halloran, the Money Coach. Grow with the point as we build on 10 incredible years of community local radio. We've built an environment where our listeners are our family. Are you a small business with big dreams? Join the tremendous stable of advertising partners at The Point. Connect with Kevin Cohen and brainstorm a tailored strategy to escalate your business growth using the powerful platform of The Point. Call Kev directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, you can make the next year your best year.
It's SC Wild with Major Billy Downer from the Department of Natural Resources. Major Downer is here to answer your questions about the great outdoors. Call in now at 888-898-2525 and join SC Wild on the Sports Talk Media Network.
It's a great night to talk about the great outdoors in South Carolina. So much going on with the weather. And, of course, it's August. It's still hot out there. Good time to go fishing. Get to the beach, get to the lakes, get to the rivers. But with football season coming up, you know what's connected to football season. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about tonight here on SC Wild with Major Billy Downer from the Department of Natural Resources, and he has a very, very special guest. Let's welcome in the Major first of all and let him take it from here. Welcome in, sir. How are you?
Absolutely, Phil. Thanks for allowing me to come on via the phone from the great state of North Carolina here at the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Training Center, doing some meetings with other states across the country with the Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies talking about training for game wardens across the country. So it's been nice the last 2 days. Got one more day tomorrow before we wrap up. But I want to take the time tonight to talk to folks about our new director, Dr. Tom Mulliken. He's on the line, and I'm going to welcome him in tonight. I want to thank Dr. Mulliken for joining us. But one little special note before we get started, it is August the 13th, which means we are 2 days away from the official start of the 2025 deer season. And I always like to quote my old First Sergeant Paul Blackwell. When January 1st rolled around, he said, "Don't worry, boys, in 6 more months, it'll be back again." And he's right. Here we are 2 days away from the start of gun season in Game Zone 3 for South Carolina. So a lot of energy around that. No matter how hot it is, folks are excited to be able to go deer hunting. We're just 2 days away from that. But for now, tonight, we will focus on our new director, Dr. Tom Mulliken. Dr. Mulliken, thank you for joining us on the show tonight.
Thank you, Major, and thank you for all you do out there protecting our citizens and conserving our beautiful state. You do a great job.
Well, I appreciate kind words, but kind words will get you nowhere tonight with Phil. I can promise you that. Let's ask. So, Director, I want to give you a moment. You started this job this year in January, just out. One of the first directors in a long time that's come from outside the agency. You've got a wealth of environmental knowledge in your belt. Would you mind giving us a quick intro on Dr. Mulliken? I know you're from Camden, South Carolina. Tell us a little bit about where you've come from, and then we'll get to some things specific about the agency today.
That sounds great. Thank you. And thank you for this opportunity. I come to the agency after practicing corporate energy and environmental law for 40 years. And over the last 15 years as a member of the faculty at Coastal Carolina, where I taught the doctoral program in coastal and marine systems science, with a joint appointment at USC, where I taught environmental law in the School of Law. And I had a post at the University of San Francisco, Quito, in Ecuador, where I spent the last 15 years. I taught it in the Galapagos for a month a year. So I was, the last 10 years was sort of a division between private practice and academia. I had about 2.5 decades in the military. The first half as a JAG officer in the United States Army Reserve, where I served with the Civil Affairs and Psychological Operations Command as a international legal officer. And the last 2 years was a special assistant to the lead prosecutor for the 9/11 terrorists, and then spent a little less than a decade in the state military department, where I helped rebuild the South Carolina State Guard to focus on response to natural disasters. So I've been in this space for a lot of years, and honored to have this opportunity at this point in my life to come over to an amazing agency at South Carolina Department of Natural Resources.
Dr. Mulliken, we're as many of us will say, we appreciate the fact that you're here. Appreciate the doors that you opened for us into a new world. Our agency is growing. We just moved into a brand new building. We got a brand new director. We got a brand new board chairman, a couple new board members. Things have just completely changed for DNR in the last 6 to 7 months. A lot of change, which gives the opportunity for a lot of growth. But tell me this for a moment. If you were to sum up, what makes you proud to be at DNR? What makes you proud of DNR?
In a word, or 2 words, the people. You know, I'm excited to learn about the tremendous expertise of the many people, nearly 1,300 employees at South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, and I look forward to helping tell the story. A lot of people in the state, myself included, fully understand the important role of our law enforcement officers, our game wardens, but there's not as much familiarity with a lot of work that's being done on the other side of the house. So the people are a blessing to me. I'm 65 years old, and to be able to jump into something like this it's just been a tremendous honor and privilege.
And so as we continue down the road talking about DNR, in your few months, you've had to go through your first legislative session, trial by fire, so to speak. what are your goals for folks who might be asking, what do you see DNR in the next few years? What are your immediate goals for the agency?
Major, I think you and I have talked about it. I think when the agency was formed under Carol Campbell, it was the collection of several smaller agencies that were combined into one. And the agency is dealt like that in some regards with silos. I'm working hard to break down silos and to create cost efficiencies and effectiveness by combining. For example, we had communication being done across different departments. We had training being done across different departments. And I think what we're going to see is by creating greater synergies, by pulling those professionals together, we'll see a clear message going out and also an opportunity to teach people in South Carolina about the tremendous resources. We also are dealing at a time of greater fiscal accountability. 24% of our budget comes from Washington. So I've had to spend a few days up in Washington trying to unlock some of our contracts for important work in the state. And also at a time when you hear more people in our South Carolina legislature speaking of DOGE and the requirement to sort of lean into our budgets, making sure that we're doing all we can. You couple that with the fact that we're one of the fastest growing states, if not the fastest growing state on a percentage basis in the country, which means we have more pressure on our property. Conservation is a huge priority. So we really have a number of priorities that are sort of raising the level of difficulty and complexity for us. We don't want to have been born and raised in South Carolina and die in New Jersey. And that's no knock on New Jersey, but we're a state whose DNA is defined by the outdoors. We're one of only 6 states in the country and one of the few in the world that has a constitutional requirement to protect and conserve our natural resources. So it's not just a political fad. It's very much built into our system, our people, and we want to make sure we protect the culture and heritage and outdoors that we have been asked to hold in trust for future generations. Those things combined, they said I would be drinking out of a fire hose when I started, Major, but that really was an understatement. I think it was 2 fire hoses. So it's been an exceptional blessing and also challenging at the same time.
Well, we always like the South Carolina, we say, from the mountains to the sea, and truly the ecosystems and the differences from the mountains to the sea are significant and really a neat blessing that South Carolina, among very few states, has. That mountains to the sea, where you have so many different environments, so many different animals, wildlife, and fish, and flora and fauna, if you will, that vary so much. And we're blessed in this state to have that. I know that you've talked about this, the importance of conserving more land in South Carolina, and you've done that in different areas. What is, as far as conserving land, trying to put more land and conserve it, for folks that may wonder what that means, does that mean we're taking land from people? And I've often talked about, public land and public hunting opportunity is a huge deal for our department to provide areas for people to be able to have public access. Well, how is that aligned with some of the things that you want to do here in this agency?
When I was asked about coming over and taking on this position, I would say the single biggest priority I was given was helping meet the governor's goal, conservation goal. We're a state of 20.5 million acres. We have 3.5 million acres under conservation on some form of private conservation, and he wants to take it to 10 million. Nobody's property is being taken from them. We have the highest percentage of private conservation on a percentage basis of any state in the country. So we are acquiring more property, and where we acquire more property, the property will be open at various levels to the public. 10 million acres is a lot because there's a lot of pressure on it. And if we don't get it this year, it'll be more expensive next year. But we are working as diligently as we can with the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, South Carolina Forestry Commission, South Carolina Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, facilitated by the Conservation Bank, to preserve these areas so that our grandkids and their grandkids can have the same kind of outdoor experiences that we've enjoyed. and we're going to work hard to meet that goal. We won't meet it this year or next year, but hopefully we can keep. We planted the flag there, and that's what we'll work towards.
Absolutely. So, and we often, again, we've talked about this a lot on the show about providing opportunity for people to go outdoors, to experience the outdoors. And we used to have the statement, live life outdoors. I know this past month in July, you spent the entire month with another group you're very active with called SC7, as you say, exposing people to the natural wonders of South Carolina. If you could talk about that for just a minute, why that's important in our state, why it's important to go outdoors and see the many wonderful places that you did over 31 days in July.
Well, thank you for asking. The 2018, the governor asked me to help create the South Carolina Floodwater Commission. We created that to deal with some of the flooding issues, some of the coastal erosion. We had 10 task forces, 83 people served on this commission, and we prepared a over 400-page report, and I took it to the governor thinking I was done. And he said, "Oh, no, Tomcat, you got to sell it now." So we decided that the only way we could sell this in a meaningful way was to get people's input. And 6 years ago, we started an expedition that we call the South Carolina 7, and we hiked. This was the 6th year that I hiked 350 miles from the mountains in Oconee County all the way down to Beaufort. Along the way, we rafted to Tortuga, and we kayaked to Edisto, the longest Black River in North America, and we end with building a reef off the coast. We're building an artificial reef. Along the way, every night we're having fireside chats where we meet with local leaders, we meet with local groups, and we want to hear. We have tried to avoid this idea that we're from the government, we're going to show up and tell you what to do. We've turned that on the head and tried to take information. What are people seeing? What are their concerns? How do we help facilitate some of their objectives? And I'm really happy to say this year was profoundly successful. We had 3,500 participants, and if you were in the state during those days, you know that every day that we hiked, it was over 105 heat index, some days higher. And we have had a national audience. Last year we had more than 17 million people follow us around the country because we had embedded journalists. We had embedded broadcast journalists. And what we're finding is that people are concerned. They were particularly concerned this year knowing how close we came to bearing the full brunt of Helene. They want to know what they can do, how they can participate in conservation measures, what's going on with the state, ideas that the state needed to hear about. They want to know about everything from hunting season to how we can, sporting dogs out in WMAs to duck season to, it's from ducks to hurricanes. And it was a wonderful experience. It was hot, 5. It's not getting any easier, but I promised that I would do 10 years, and this was my 6th. And every year it's gotten a little bigger. So what I can tell you is this, having grown up here, I was actually born in North Carolina, in eastern North Carolina, but raised in South Carolina. You see things when you walk from one end of the state to the other that you just do not see. South Carolina is truly the most beautiful place on the earth, and I didn't get into my resume, but I think, Major, I've climbed mountains on every continent. I've been around the world for 40 years, and there is no more beautiful place on earth than South Carolina. Some of the oldest mountains in the Appalachia to the most beautiful beaches. But you miss a lot by driving. I know you're out in the outdoors every day when you're on the job. We have the most beautiful waterfalls in the world. Coney and Pickens and Greenville County. We have some of the most beautiful vistas. We have Congaree, the largest bottomland on the East Coast, and some believe in the country. So you see things when you do this, and I'll go ahead and put in a plug to your listeners. We do it every year from July 1 to July 31. Come out and join me. You don't have to do it all 31 days. In fact, I wouldn't even recommend that. And if you're going to do it, I'm a lot better mood the first couple of weeks than the last two. Start showing my age a little bit. Come out and join us for a day or two. You might see something you didn't know existed in our beautiful state.
Well, I know I enjoy the one time I got to go join you was in Sparkleberry Swamp, and a lot of people just have never had the opportunity or too scared to go. into Sparkerberry, and a lot of people, in this state, one thing I can tell you for sure, sportsmen and women are passionate about what they love. And that passion can turn into anger. It can turn into arguments, but they're passionate about what they believe in. And Sparkerberry is a beautiful place. Historically, a cypress swamp that was logged, and we do have some regeneration going on there. The cypress tupelo, the oaks are gone, but still a beautiful, very unique environment, and so few people get to see it. Paddling is another challenge. Most folks take motorboats to go way up in the swamp, and I still comes one day to get you up there to see that, to get deep in there to kind of see what people just don't get to see. And folks that have lived for 50, 60, 70 years and still go in that swamp, and they do it without light, without a GPS, and they know where they're going because they've done it so long. Those are unique places. Those are unique opportunities, and it's a pleasure to be able to go in there and enjoy something that's that remote, that close to people, if that makes sense. That close to Columbia, that close to Sumter, but you can get away from everybody, and there'll be nobody around you. There's no road. There's no noise. There's just the water and trees and whatever wildlife happens to be there.
It's
what a
amazing.
unique opportunity it is.
Just absolutely
and again,
amazing. Everything. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, as we get toward the end here, just asking you this, we talked about this before. What makes DNR relevant today? As officers up here in the training, we're talking about relevancy with game wardens today in the world and how we fit in a world that doesn't, if you go back to the old days of hunting and fishing, is still important, but the majority of people don't hunt and fish anymore. Our job has evolved. It's changed. We've had to change with it to remain relevant. But as an agency, who most people see as the wildlife department, and I love it to be called that. That's in my heart. That's what I want it to be called. I love my deer on my patch. I didn't want to get rid of it. I love the fish on my patch. And if the truth be known, I love the old quite often from the 70s, 60s patch. But how do we as an agency with so many diverse departments remain relevant in South Carolina today?
Let me answer that if I can in two ways. And I'm going to say this. I start with, you mentioned I'm a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I have a PhD. My PhD is in seminary. It's in ecological theology. Nature is restorative. Getting people back out into nature it should be a must. It should be mandatory. It's going to be what reintroduces people. It's creates a healthier environment. It deals with a lot of issues that we deal with now, from childhood obesity to childhood diabetes to PTSD. We have 435,000 veterans in South Carolina. I've taken many up mountains around the world, and I've seen layers of stress come off. I've seen children with autism begin to perform better by being out in the outdoors. We need to protect what is so much important part of our life and our culture. We remain relevant by meeting the constitutional mandate to protect these natural resources. Not for those of us who are consumptive. I grew up hunting and fishing, and when people have introduced me as an environmental lawyer, I was literally asked, "Are you a tree hugger?" And my response was, "Yes, I am." When I get up there, I'm hanging on that tree, looking down with my rifle. I'm hugging that tree as fast, as hard as I can. These issues.
Good answer.
Well, it's true too. That's the only way I've ever hugged a tree. But we have so much to be proud of. We have the fastest animal on earth lives in South Carolina. It doesn't live in Africa. It's not the cheetah. It's the Brazilian free-tailed bat. Bats provide $115 million positive economic impact on South Carolina by being insect suppressants. So as we taught people about bats and about their value, these things are all interconnected. And while some people may not like this analogy, my cousin's name really is Bubba. I said, we're trying to put butterflies and Bubba on the same page. If we don't have the flora and fauna, if we don't have the flora, we're not going to have the fauna. We need to protect these natural spaces. We need to protect them because they're a part of our culture. They're a part of our activities. They're important for healthcare. some of the areas that we're protecting, we had more battles and skirmishes fought in South Carolina in the Revolutionary War than the rest of the country combined. And yet, if you watch the History Channel, you think the whole thing was fought and won in Philadelphia. We need to have South Carolinians talking about South Carolina. We are relevant because we're telling the story and we're protecting the story of South Carolina. And we absolutely live in the most beautiful place on earth that's worth protecting for our families and the next generation.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I would say amen. Bro, let's just get out of church because that's pretty much the end of it for me. But as we enter another deer season, as we enter approach dove season, which is traditionally in South Carolina, that weekend is one of the biggest weekends for families across the state to get together. Whether they hunt or not, people get together, they gather together, they break bread, they enjoy a nice hot dove field or pray for a little shade or a deer hunt in the evening. And then we get closer to the end. We got quail season, which has been a huge part of South Carolina through the years, and the plantation land that remained, and then also into waterfowl season. Tremendous history in this state of waterfowl, from the Santee Gun Club, which our department runs, thousands of acres, pristine marsh that we manage. It's a tremendous honor to be a part of all that. And to me, one of the hardest things is balancing the fact that, as you said, constitutionally, we are mandated to protect hunting and fishing, and South Carolina as far as our flora and fauna as well. And that's a great balance, a tremendous responsibility. And I'm glad to have been a part of it for almost 28 years out now. We're glad to have you be a partner with us. And I know you've been a part of it for the 60-plus years you've lived here.
Yes, sir.
So, again, just want to thank you for being a part of the show tonight. I know we're down to 1 minute. If there's anything, is there anything else you want to share from the department in our last minute?
Well, sometimes I'm asked, what is my favorite activity? And I got to tell you, and I know you know this, if you're out there and you got a hog problem, you need somebody to come stick a pig, man, I love sticking a pig. Give me a call. Call Major Downer, let's get something set up. I'm not thinking about work when I'm hog hunting.
I got it. Dr. Mulkin, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Appreciate your leadership for us. And folks, if you've got questions, give us a call on the next show. We're glad to have you a part of SC Wild. And if you're going to go get in the deer stand this weekend, be careful. Make sure you know where you're going. Tell others where you're going. Use a flashlight going to that stand and back so that others can see you and won't mistake you for a game animal. Make sure you wear that. Again, be safe. Hunt safe, hunt smart, hunt your plan. Again, I hope you enjoy the great outdoors this weekend, especially here in South Carolina.
Thanks, Major.
Thank you, Major, and thank you, Tom. And it's great to meet you long distance via our radio and via the phone line. Great here. Learned so much listening to you guys tonight. Really appreciate it. Echoing what the Major had to say, be careful out there as you begin deer hunting season. We don't need to be talking about any tragic stories and stuff like that. Again, thank you, Major. Thank you, Tom, for being with us tonight. Thanks to the folks here at Charleston Southern, Michael Causey and his staff, and coach and players for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow night from the Citadel. Have a great night.